Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my library wing. That's right, I have a library wing in my house. I don't have enough space to put all of my books in one room, so they actually inhabit two rooms. I've got my manga and nostalgia room pretty much there, and I also have my main library in here with all of my regular novels, my young adult, my adult, my middle grade and graphic novels. And there is like a little bit of a walkway to this section of the house, which I do like. It is right next to my pet cemetery as well. It's my little memorial for the beautiful kitty cats that I've lost over the years. So not a reference to Stephen King, but I do like to have this kind of memorial bit here. You know, it just looks lovely. Ignore the fact that it's right next to the Lego Titanic. Like, I've got nowhere else to put it. But I'm so excited to go through my library rooms today, go through my bookshelves. This will be the first time I've shown you my bookshelves properly in my new house. So I moved here 5 months ago, and I did do a bookshelf tour 2 years ago in my old house. That was the last one I did. It also just hit 200,000 views yesterday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. I mean, I will say that I do think I prefer my old library room because it was just all in one room and I love things being in one place. But you know, I have to make do. This will probably not be the most mind-blowing home library you've ever seen, or even the most well-produced, well-shot bookshelf tour you've ever seen either, but I still hope you enjoy, so grab yourself a hot drink or a cold drink, whatever you drink, and let's just chat books today. Welcome to my home library. I'm like, which room should I show you first? Like, do I show you the main room or do I show you the smaller room? You know what, let's do the smaller room, why not? Okay, welcome to the nostalgia and manga room. You would think it would make sense to put my graphic novels in here as well. The way that my shelves are laid out, it is kind of impossible to put them in here unless I get like another bookshelf, which I think I've got way too many. I mean, I already have 11 IKEA bookshelves and 2 of them are extended. Actually, no, 3 of them are extended. So I feel like getting another bookshelf would just be too much. I mean, I could get a smaller bookshelf and put it in here and put the graphic novels in and have the graphic novels and manga in the one place, which does make sense, but I'm not the kind of person who makes sense. So I'll start with nostalgia and then go manga and then go into the main room. So with my nostalgia shelves, these are essentially, you know, things I grew up with, whether it's the book that I grew up with or it had a TV show adaptation or a movie adaptation that I grew up with. Any kind of nostalgia, it lives here. I currently have to stand on a footstool to get to the top books. We have quite a different range of books here, honestly. We have all the L.J. Smith books, so Vampire Diaries, The Secret Circle, 2 TV shows that I grew up on and loved. Well, I mean, I didn't really grow up on The Secret Circle because it got cancelled before it like really got going, but I still look back on it fondly. It was a great TV show, gone before its time. Vampire Diaries just had me to chokehold for like the first 5 seasons, and then I kind of lost interest after that, but I ended up reading all of the Vampire Diaries books and the Secret Circle books in 2023. I have not the best opinions of these, and you're probably wondering then, why do you keep these books? It's because I just love like the nostalgia area, the nostalgia nook, because it's just a reflection of what I grew up with. And even though I wasn't the biggest fan of these books, I still want them to reflect me. And that's why they're here. Same with the Gossip Girl books. I also read these and didn't love them. Same with the Cheetah Girls books. But yeah, Gossip Girl, I read all of these in 2023 as well. And the Cheetah Girls books I read in 2020. And yeah, I didn't really love these, but I'm so glad I read them still. They are still a reflection of me as a person, especially the Cheetah Girls. Let me tell you, I still know the songs, I know the dances, just my favourite films, you know what I mean? But Gossip Girl, just love it. It's just so iconic, you know what I mean? But I don't love Gossip Girl or anything like that as much as I love Pretty Little Liars. Watched the entire show, freaking loved it. I used to review this show on Spoiler TV every week, I think from season 5 to the end. But the first 4 seasons are flawless. No notes, no nothing, just a great TV show. And yeah, I read all of these in 2022, and you know what, the first 8 are actually really good, but then after that, they're not as good anymore. But still, absolutely love me some Pretty Little Liars. And then I have The Lying Game. Does anyone remember the TV show The Lying Game that also aired on ABC Family? Also based on books by Sarah Shepard. So we have the first Lying Game book there. I read these just last year. I read all of them. And you know what? I had a really fun time. These actually aren't that bad. I would say these 6 Lying Game books are better than the final 8 books in Pretty Little Liars. But the first 8 books of Pretty Little Liars are still the absolute best. Just love them. And then we go into the Princess Diaries books. I mean, I did read these all in 2024. Well, I say all of them. I didn't read book 11 and book 12 because I just hated where the series went. It's very problematic. I have a whole vlog dedicated to all my problems with it. Still glad I read them though, because again, like, the Princess Diaries films were part of my childhood and I love them so much. I did cut the 10th book up with some scissors. You're probably going to hate me for that. But let me tell you, it's a felony, and I'm not talking about me defacing one of my books. Actually, what happens in this series is a felony. The romance is a felony. It's crime. And before you start criticizing me about defacing my books or, you know, damaging my books, vandalizing my books, whatever, these books are mine, and I don't plan on selling them. I don't plan on giving them away. That Princess Diaries book is living in my house forever. Like, any of the nostalgia books, I'm never getting rid of. Why would I want to get rid of them? They mean something to me still. So even though I hated the Princess Diaries books, I still want to keep the collection. It's part of me, and if I want to cut the last 100 pages out of the final Princess Diaries book, well, the original final Princess Diaries book, then I'm gonna do that. I'm of the mindset where you can do whatever you want to your own books. If you want to highlight them, if you want to annotate them, if you want to cut a little bit out with some scissors, then that's totally your prerogative. It's your book. You paid for it. It's yours. And I don't buy books with the intention of selling them on or giving them to someone else. Unless I really didn't like the book or I just genuinely don't think I'll ever reread it, then maybe I will. But when it comes to nostalgia books, I'll snip if a book pisses me off that much. On the next shelf, I have Animorphs, and I also have some TV show tie-ins, some original novelizations there. But with Animorphs, I have read all of Animorphs, and these were the original 5 that were released. They have like these covers, which I was going to originally collect all of these, but then I found out that when the first, I think it was 19, the first 19 Animorphs books came out, they changed them for these kinds of covers, and then this spine as well. So you can't even get, I think, past number 19 for the Animorphs books. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to have to bloody start again, aren't I? I mean, fortunately, I thrifted these very cheap off eBay, and a lot of these books I did buy secondhand off eBay, by the way. I don't own all of the Animorphs books, but I did read them all on the Kindle back in 2022, so it'll be 3 years now. And I really do want to try and get the ones that I'm missing, but some of them sell for ridiculous prices. Like, I think number 44 that I'm missing is selling for like £200 on eBay or like £100 on eBay. I'm not paying £100 for an Animorphs book. Not when they came out at £3.99. You know what I mean? And it needs to be these covers. It needs to be these editions so that they can all match. So I am still looking for it. I'm missing like 5, 6, 9, 11. So there are some that I don't have, but I think I do have the majority here. And then going on to the TV show original books, like tie-in books, I do have this Stars Hollow little thing that I think I got from Forbidden Planet. And then I have like some Smallville books, which are actually quite new in my collection. I do want to do a Smallville reading vlog because I love that show. I also have some Blair Witch Project books, which I did read this one for in a recent camping video I did. And, you know, it was good, it was fine. But these do take place in the Blair Witch Project film universe. And I like the first one. I will have to continue on. I think there's 8 or 6 or something in total. So I'll have to collect the other 4. Or 2. And then I have a Final Destination book, which I never even realized had books. So that was so eye-opening when I came across this on eBay. I was like, wait, what? Final Destination have books? I love that movie franchise. And then we have Ghost Whisperer books. I think these are the only 3. There might be one more that I need to get, but oh my god, I used to love Ghost Whisperer so much. So much. Like the first 3 seasons are my favorite, and then season 4 was still good, and then I hated season 5, and then it got cancelled. But I still have such a huge place in my heart for Ghost Whisperer. Jennifer Love Hewitt made me cry every single week. She's that good. Then you have some One Tree Hill books. Oh my gosh, I still need to read these. I had these on a TBR like 2 years ago, and I still want to read these. But yeah, these aren't novelized. I think this one might be a novelization of the pilot. Whereas a lot of these are just brand new stories. set in the world of like Smallville, One Tree Hill, Ghost Whisperer. These are the only 2 One Tree Hill books, by the way, so I have both of them. I do want to try and get some Buffy books and some Supernatural books, which I did actually used to own. I owned a couple of Supernatural books a few years ago, but I don't have them anymore, which is sad. And then coming down to this shelf, just moving this for a second, I do have Sabrina the Teenage Witch books here. I do have quite a collection here. I need to get more of them though. I only have 17 of these, whereas I think there's, I mean, that one says 36, but I'm sure there's like over 50 maybe? 50 Sabrina books. I would love to try and get more. And then my creme de la creme, my favourite series of all time, Charmed. Love, love, love Charmed. I've read the majority of these. I have a Charmed vlog from a couple of years ago. Oh, showing this as well. This is my Prescott Manor little mini Book of Shadows replica. Prescott Manor don't exist now, unfortunately, but this is all of the Book of Shadows pages, but you know, in a smaller format, because I do have a bigger life-size replica of the Book of Shadows. Got this one from Charming Replicas a few years back. I think they still sell them. But before I do that as well, I do have a cauldron here. Got some Vanquishing Potions for Charmed. Just my favourite TV show of all time. I freaking love them. Love them so much. I was devastated a few months back when Shannon Doherty passed. R.I.P. Prue, R.I.P. Shannon Doherty. But yeah, Charmed means so much to me. And I wanted to put it on that shelf so that I could put my life-size Book of Shadows here on this little stand thing, which doesn't really hold it very well. Like, look at it. But it doesn't really hold it. But this was the cheapest thing that I could find that would. I also do have a third Book of Shadows replica here, but this was like the very first one I ever bought back in like 2005, 2006. It's not good. It's just like pages I printed off myself, and it's just old and not like the best. So that one's just like shoved there. But yeah, this is the main Book of Shadows, the one that I absolutely love because it is life-size. It's just like the show. Definitely not the best replica. I do think Prescott Manor still have the best replica, even though they've been out of business for years and I really wanted one. But you know, this one still has, I think, all of the pages, if not all of them, most of them that appeared in the TV show. And I still love it. I still love it so much. So good. It fulfills my dream of being a Charmed one. Also on my windowsill here, I have the Wicked books. And I did just do a recent reading vlog for them. I hated 2, 3, and 4, but I didn't mind the first Wicked book, actually. I quite liked the first Wicked book. Oh, this is my coffee. I need a drink before it goes cold. So yeah, those just like live here because Wicked kind of is a little bit nostalgic to me also because I love the Broadway musical so much. The soundtrack kind of defined my teen years. So I do have this living in my little nostalgia nook bit over here. So then the final 4 shelves of the Nostalgia Nook are all Goosebumps and Fear Street books essentially, with a couple of exceptions. So starting here, I do have 2 Goosebumps hardbacks that my friend Jessie over from Jessie on YouTube gave me when we went to Japan a couple of years ago now. Jessie even annotated these and it's just so much fun, and these are like the American hardbacks, which is so cool since, you know, I live in the UK. I don't really have American Goosebumps books, which I wish I did because the American covers are far superior over the UK covers of Goosebumps books. Like, look at this cover of The Haunted Mask. Look at that. Compared to the iconic one from Tim Jacobus, I think the artist's name was. You know, just like really, I mean, I do still think the UK covers are kind of iconic in their own way, but they just don't hold a candle to the American covers, which is so sad. But my most successful YouTube video is actually reading all of the original Goosebumps books, of which there are 62. So that's pretty awesome. I have my Tales to Give You Goosebumps books, which I read recently. I did just get the triple header books, which are a couple of spin-off books that I need to read, like little short stories, I think. So I still need to give these a read at some point. Continue the Goosebumps legacy on my channel. This is a random Goosebumps Slappy World book, I think it was, but it doesn't fit down here because there's like no room on the top of these shelves because it just doesn't fit. And then I can't do this because it doesn't fit on the shelf, honestly. I do need a little bit of a rejigging of these shelves because it just won't fit and it doesn't belong there. It shouldn't go there. But down here I have some Give Yourself Goosebumps books, but I don't have enough of them. They are out of print and very hard to get hold of, so I doubt I will ever get a chance to read them all. And then I have the Goosebumps Series 2000, which I freaking love. Like, it's the best series of Goosebumps in my opinion. A lot darker, a lot spookier. Again, got a reading vlog reading all of them. All of Goosebumps Horrorland and Hall of Horrors is there too. And then going into the Most Wanted series. There's so many Goosebumps books. There's so many spin-offs. It's a bit ridiculous. And are any of them good? Not really. But I do love them anyway because I just love R.L. Stine. He's my childhood hero. He got me into reading as a kid. And I do have one of the newer Goosebumps series, House of Shivers. That one lives there. So that's like all of the Goosebumps books. And then I go into Are You Afraid of the Dark, which I don't know if you ever watched on Nickelodeon back in the day. I also have a reading vlog for all of these. Actually very good. Like there's quite a few good ones in this series. I think my favourite one is The Tale of the Campfire Vampires. I think this one's actually a really good one. And there are 23 Are You Afraid of the Dark books. These are out of print. These were kind of hard to get hold of. This one, The Tale of the Terrible Toys, was almost impossible to get. There was not a single one on eBay, eBay books, nothing. Like it didn't exist on the internet. I thought it was a joke. But no, it finally came up one day and I snagged it. I had an alert on my phone and everything. And as soon as I managed to get it, I was able to do my vlog. It was like 2 years in the making. Then I got some adventures of, new adventures, sorry, of Mary-Kate and Ashley there too. Because, I mean, these probably should go with the Cheetah Girls books way at the top, but there's no room for them really. And, you know, with these ones, they fit down here because then I also go into Hannah Montana. Got some Hannah Montana books. And then I also have some High School Musical books. Look at that. How cool are these? So good. I haven't actually read the High School Musical books yet, but I want to. I'm currently watching the movies with my patrons. Novelization of High School Musical 2 and High School Musical 3. Love them. Absolutely love them. But then you're probably thinking, oh, Gav, why do you have Fear Street at the bottom then? If you have, you know, R.L. Stein going up to there, and then you've got random ass books there, and then Fear Street. Well, I would say like these are mainly for kids. Like even the Are You Afraid of the Dark books, I think, you know, still appeal to a middle grade audience. Whereas the Fear Street books are more teen. And there's a lot of violence, a lot of death, a lot of gore. And I feel like these definitely belong more on the bottom shelf. I've got my original Fear Street bind-up of the first 4 books when the Netflix film came out. So I still have that. Plus that won't fit on this shelf or this shelf. So that's another reason why that's down here. And then I go into all of the original books. There's 51. I read all of these recently too. So you can check out that reading vlog. And I also have the 5 cheerleaders books, which I still need to read. But these are very highly regarded in the Fear Street fandom. So I'm very excited to give them a read. And then I will try and get more of the Fear Street spin-offs. Are you still with me? Good, because we're about to do the manga shelves now. So I do have 3 manga shelves. One of them is all one series because it's my favorite series. But then I do have all the rest of them here. So I will go through these now. Oh, I should say, I also have Danmei and Manhwa on these shelves, not just manga. So on the top here, I do have some empty box sets. I've got 2 Naruto box sets there, Made in Abyss, the first 5 volumes, Dragon Ball complete box set, and Bleach, the first box set. But I just have the books that were in there just on the shelf, so I'll show you those in a second. I have all of the Berserk deluxe editions here as well. This is my second favorite manga series. But yeah, I loved Berserk. It was so good. So dark though, I wouldn't recommend it to everyone. But they're first because they're massive. And then I go into my other hardbacks here. So I've got Fullmetal Alchemist. I have the first 9 volumes and then volume 13. I was collecting these while I was going to Forbidden Planet and they never had 10, 11 or 12 when I went, but I haven't been in a while. So I would like to get those to like fill that gap because I don't like gaps. But there are more after that I would like to get and then, you know, actually start reading Fullmetal Alchemist. And I do love these editions of Fullmetal Alchemist. And then I have The Girl from the Other Side. I've read this. It was very good. I'll need to get the other volumes of it. I've got the 3 JoJo's Bizarre Adventures here of the like first series of it. There's like so many. This one is part 1, Phantom Blood. And I like the first volume. I will continue eventually. I've got the first 6 Parasite volumes and I'm very excited to start these. I want to binge all of them at some point. These are the full color editions and I love the way that they look. I think the final 2 volumes are out now as well. So that's awesome. I also have the first 3 hardbacks of Vinland Saga, but I don't know if I should stop collecting these and get the bigger deluxe editions. So that will be like the same size as Berserk because I do love the look of those, but I also love how colorful these ones are on the side. So I don't know, I might switch gears and get the deluxe editions because my friend Bella from Throne of Pages has a couple of them now, I think. And when I saw them in her video, I was like, okay, they are actually gorgeous. We'll see if I continue collecting these ones or if I change it up. And then I have my Junji Ito / horror manga. This one isn't Junji Ito, but it does have a introduction by Junji Ito. It's a horror anthology, but the rest of them are Junji Ito, like up to here. And I love Junji Ito. I still haven't read Alli, but that's the only one here that and No Longer Human. I haven't read No Longer Human. So I need to read that one. and that one. But I have pretty much all the other ones: Black Paradox, Deserter, Dissolving Classroom, Fragments of Horror, Frankenstein, Geo, Liminal Zone, Love Sickness, which actually I really enjoyed Love Sickness. This one was actually very good. It was the first 5 stories in this are all connected, and it's like all one big story, really. Oh, I thought it was so creepy. Mimi's Heels of Terror, No Longer Human, Reminisce, Censor, Shiver. Really good one, this one too. Loved the balloon story. That one was so good. Smashed, Suichi, Stitches. I didn't love Stitches. I didn't think it was that good, to be honest. Tombs, Tomie, Uzumaki. Fantastic one. But I think everyone says that. In Venus in the Blind Spot. And then we go into Kazu and Mez. I've read all of the Orochi volumes. I read the 4th one just recently, and you know what, these were nice little horror vignettes. A little bit dated now, but still interesting to see, considering Kazuo Ume's inspired Junji Ito. So I have them pretty much together, but I will have to move these soon, because when I get more Junji Ito, this is going to fill up. And then I go into my oversized paperbacks. So these ones are the ones that are quite big, because I am a bit of a height order kind of gal, also alphabetical order within that too. Well, this is alphabetical order by the title of the manga, whereas in my other room, it's alphabetical order by author surname and in height order. So I do have a range of stories here. I have read all of Blue Flag, really enjoyed it. Still a little bit conflicted over the ending though. I'm not really sure how to feel about it, but it was still a fun time. I do love it. Love the first volume of Alice in Borderland. I still need to continue. Also love the first volume of A Man and His Cat. Really good. Blue Lock. I actually really enjoyed the first volume of Blue Lock, and I'm not really a big fan of sports stuff like football or soccer or whatever you want to call it. Cherry Magic. I still need to continue this, but the volumes are so expensive. But I freaking loved the first 6 volumes of Cherry Magic. So beautiful. Loved it. I'm going to have to unhaul Fruits Basket. I'm sorry to everyone who loves Fruits Basket, but I didn't love it. So that's probably going to end up going soon. Dorohedoro, again, wasn't really the biggest fan of that one, so I might unhaul that one too. Fire Punch, Goodnight Pun Pun, haven't started it yet, but I've heard it's made people cry, so I'm very excited. And just like a few more other stuff here as well. Maiden Abyss, some very sketchy, weird things in the first volume, so I'm kind of a little bit scared to continue on. A lot of people have recommended the anime over the manga. Monster, I've read the first volume. I want to try and binge the rest of it at some point. Pokemon Adventures, I've got a few of those. PTSD Radio, I read the first volume I've recently really enjoyed. I love The Summer Hikaru Died. I love it so much. I don't have volume 4 yet, but I'm definitely going to get it as soon as I can. But yeah, oh, the first 3 volumes just absolutely loved. Titan's Bride, still haven't read yet, but I can't wait. Oops. Witch Hat Atelier. I am currently on my manga channel reading through Witch Hat Atelier, so I've just read the first 6 volumes and posted a reading vlog for it. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I do have a channel dedicated to manga where I'm going to do like really cozy, chill, no stress reading vlogs of reading through some of the manga series, especially in this room because I have so much to get through. So I will read through volumes 7 through 12 soon. I have the spin-off Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen, first couple of volumes, Zom 100, which was really good. Here I have my Kingdom Hearts collection because I love Kingdom Hearts so much. I have a complete novel collector's edition here, and then I have the manga of like Final Mix, Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, all of that's there too. I do actually have a manga troll that I did not too long ago really, and not much has really changed since then other than the fact that, you know, I moved house. So I feel like I do go more in depth in that one. So I'll link it down below if you want to check out a little bit more of an in-depth one. But then yeah, here's when I get into my regular sized paperback manga editions. And yeah, it's a nicely growing collection. I've been reading manga for nearly 3 years now, so I'm still finding my feet with what I love in manga, but I am just obsessed. I'm so obsessed. I fell in love so quickly. And then down here I do have some Danmei, I have Manhwa, and yeah, that's pretty much all of those. Love Killing Stalking. Still need to read volume 6, I think. And then I think 7 and 8 need to come out still. So I'm excited to read those. Just a quick little overview of these. Love Ascendance of a Bookworm. I need to get back into reading this. And also Attack on Titan. I read all of Attack on Titan. But it was a really fun time, actually. As much as I wasn't the biggest fan of the ending, I loved it nonetheless. Got some boy love, yaoi stuff as well. Bleach, Blood on the Tracks. I still need to finish the series. I've got like 3 or 4 volumes left to read, and I think it ended at volume 17, so I still need to get them and stuff. So Chainsaw Man I find pretty good. Dr. Stone, loved the first volume. Dragon Ball I've got a vlog for. I thought that was pretty good. I can't wait to really start reading Frieren. Read the first volume 2 years ago now, and I really enjoyed it. So I want to continue on. That will be the next series I tackle after Witch Hat Atelier. Given I love Given. Such a lovely boy love manga. Very, very nice. And then I think volume 8 is the final volume, which I haven't read yet, actually. I've read the first 7, but I haven't read the final volume yet. Hunter x Hunter, I can't wait to read more of. Jujutsu Kaisen, I can't wait to read more of. I loved how funny Mashal was. And also, Moriarty the Patriot, I really want to read more of too. I found the first volume so engrossing. Naruto, I have quite a lot of. I still need box set 2 to get volumes 28 through 48. So I still need to get box set 2, but I'll wait because I'm not really in any rush to get it, really. Oshinoko, I've read the first 3 volumes of, or 4, and really, really, really enjoyed it. It's so different and so weird at the same time. Spy Family is one of my favourite manga series of all time too. I think it's my 3rd favourite or 4th favourite at the minute. And it continues on down here. And yeah, Yawn of the Dawn, really enjoying as well. So I will continue with that. And I just have a random treasure chest here. And the other stories. I'm really excited to read The Horizon, actually. I've heard great things about The Horizon, and there's only 3 volumes, so yeah. And then finally, in my manga room, I have my One Piece bookshelf. Like, all of this is for One Piece. And I don't think that's about to change. Like, while I feel like I could probably fit more things on the bottom if I wanted to, like, condense things down, I don't think that's going to happen. I think I want to keep this as my One Piece section because I just love One Piece so much. It's just the best story I've ever read. I need to catch up with Egghead because I'm very behind in reading the stories, but I am obsessed. I have different trinkets and things that I also got from Japan, things that I just got off eBay or, you know, online as well. Some card game stuff too. And I got this treasure chest from my friend Jade at a Christmas market. I got this volume of One Piece. It's in Japanese, but when I went to Japan, this was the newest volume out. So I wanted to get one as a memento, and that now lives there. I'm so proud of this being the volume that came out when I was in Japan because I love that cover so much. Got some One Piece card game stuff there as well. I also bought this Japanese box set of the East Blue Saga when I was in Japan too. Love it. I just absolutely love the box set. I really want to get more, but then I'm like, money, Gav, you've got to think about money and think of rent and stuff like that. This is a kind of Wizard Guide spellbook thing from the video game Ni no Kuni. That's just living there for now, just cause, I guess. And I also got some of the Shonen Jump magazines. This was the very first Shonen Jump magazine that One Piece was ever in, back in 1997, I believe. And I got, you know, just a few more, because why not? One Piece magazines, you know, compendiums, you know, just random stuff, really, because I just love One Piece. This was my entire manga in Nostalgia Room, essentially. And now I think we're ready to go into the main library room where all my regular novels are. So let's go. If you need a top up of your drink, get one. I'm starting to get a little peckish, so I might get something to eat and then we'll reconvene. We'll reconvene in the main library room. I'll give you 5 minutes. Break time, break time. Okay, break time is over. We are back, and this is the main library room. So over here, I do have mostly my middle grade shelves, but I also have randomly on these 2 shelves graphic novels, mostly young adult graphic novels. And then on this side of the room, I have all of my young adult and adult books. These are the main books that I have. A couple of years ago, I could not have said that. But now the young adult and adult books have taken over my life. Mostly adult books. But yeah, those are all of those shelves there. Quite a lot. Oops. And then the final bookshelf is this one here, right next to the door. This is the classics shelf. So do I really have much of a reason why the room is structured like this? Not really. Like, why is there a random 2 shelves of graphic novels here, mainly for filming purposes. When I'm filming, sometimes I like to have it so that you can see Heartstopper behind me, but I'll go through all of that more in depth in a minute. So I think I will start on actually these shelves. I'll start on the middle grade and the graphic novels. Oh, actually, before I go there, I do have some random things on the windowsill. This behind the candelabra is an illustration that Jamie Littler, the author and illustrator of Frostheart, made for me. He illustrated me as a character. It is my favourite middle grade series, and when I showed so much support for the first book, when I worked at Waterstones, he illustrated me as a character from that world, and I love it so much. So that lives on the windowsill. And I do have some like random gothic-y looking stuff like the candelabra, this little treasure chest, also this stack of books. These are just like random oversized books that don't really look very nice on the bookshelves when they're just randomly slotted in. So these are here on the windowsill. I have a blank Woodsboro Murders from Scream kind of journal thing there. I have On a Sea of Glass, which is a Titanic non-fiction. House of Leaves, It All Began with a Scream, which is a Scream biography, kind of look into the making of the films. Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, 101 Horror Books to Read Before You're Murdered, Brereton's Phantasmagoria, and Dangerous Games to Play in the Dark, which I do want to take with me to a haunted location and maybe try and play some of those games. But yeah, sorry, back to the middle grade and the graphic novels shelves, essentially. I did want to try and get the young adult books also in here, but there's just not enough room, really. So we'll start from the very top. This is all pretty much in alphabetical order by author surname, but also in height order. So it does go along and it's quite organized in that way. It just makes it feel a lot more clean when it's in sort of height order. I mean, some of them are a little bit of a different height-ish, but not big enough to go with the bigger hardbacks. There is a system and it works. Like, it looks nice when you kind of move back and you can see it all in one place and like all in one go. It does look uniform and I like that more than anything, because I did have all the hardbacks mixed together, but it looked very disorganized. It looked very unclean. So firstly, I just need to take a breath. Oh my god, I ate too much food. Now I just want to lie down and do absolutely nothing, but that is not an option. So, I mean, firstly, I've shown this off in every bookshop too, I think, but this was a custom-made book when I was a kid, and my parents got me it. It has me and my brother and sister in here, and our home address and everything, so I will not show that properly. Well, old home address, we don't live there anymore, but that was my childhood home. I'll still not show. But it does have me as a character in there. You used to be able to do that in the 90s. I think maybe in the 2000s as well. Like, put you as a character in a story and they would make it. They would put you and your siblings in there. It was always a fun time. So just quickly going along, I love the Wizards of One series by Cressida Cowell. Got a couple more. Cressida Cowell is the author of How to Train Your Dragon. Very excited for the film that's coming out. But we can talk about How to Train Your Dragon in a minute anyway. Got some more things. Oh, I love this Fairy Loot edition of House Moving Castle. Cannot wait for Kiki's delivery service to come. That is beautiful. I also absolutely love my Illumicrate Percy Jackson series. Like, if you ask me, those are just stunning, absolutely stunning. Do have this that I got from a Al Craig Jr. box, which is just a Percy Jackson themed tin. Let's just put that there for now. But yeah, I am obsessed with the covers, the look of these, everything. These are some of the most beautiful middle grade books that I own. Although some people might say Percy Jackson is more teen, I'm keeping these in the middle grade section because it just looks so lovely over here. I think middle grade books have some of the, well, these aren't Illumicrate, by the way. These ones are the Waterstones editions of Percy Jackson, the continuation. But yeah, I think middle grades have some of the most colourful and most beautiful looking books, so I think they belong over here. Skandar and the Unicorn Thief, the Skandar series by E.F. Stedman. I still haven't read these yet, but I have all of them so far. The Waterstones editions for the sprayed edges. So I'm very excited to actually read them, because they've been pretty big, like on the same level as like Nevermore and stuff like that recently. So I have Amari and the Night Brothers, Baby Alston. I still need to get the third book, but this book is personally signed from the author to me. Okay, no, it's not. Okay, I've made a big mistake. I got sent a copy of this book from the author that's personalized and signed to me, and I think I accidentally unhold it. I was supposed to get rid of this copy, which was the Al Craig Jr. copy, and I think I accidentally got rid of the personalized and signed one. I'm sure it's in a box somewhere, because I still haven't yet donated to my local library yet, because they are still undergoing renovations. So I will have to try and hunt that down, but that is embarrassing. I'm so glad I actually realised that before I actually got rid of it. But love that series so much. I've got some of the American Sophie Anderson books here. One of my favourite authors ever. Love her. And I love her covers for the American editions too, because they have this Studio Leica kind of look to them. And I think they just look absolutely stunning. Got some more books here. I've read most of my middle grades. I don't think there's like really too much to say about a lot of them, other than I just do still love middle grade, even though I don't read as much of them as I used to. But I, again, like, love the Pages and Core series. I love how they all look. Do enjoy The Monsters of Brookhaven. It's been a few years and I still need to read the sequel. Oops. I also love the Hatmaker series by Tamsin Merchant. Really fun series. I'll look at that as well. Just middle grade has some of the best, absolute best covers ever, in my opinion. In my humble opinion. Root Magic, Eden Royce, one of my favourite middle grades of all time. Very aptly spooky. Bookshop with Justin Dreams was one of my favourite middle grades of 2024. I really enjoyed it. I read it for my Patreon book club. And I called... Oh, these are the wrong... No, they're the right way around. Oh, I thought these were the wrong way around. Night Books, I love the Netflix film. And I really enjoyed the book too. And I need to actually read the sequel also. More hardbacks. I used to own way more middle grades, and I went through this massive purge this year, or last year even. Still getting used to 2025. One of my prized possessions is a Sprinkle of Sorcery ARC copy that there's only 100 of. Yeah, and personally signed as well from Michelle Harrison. I got number 27 of 100. I just love it when they go all out for ARC copies. And I've got more of my Frostheart series. These are the American versions of the Frostheart series. I also have this, which I got. There's only 5 of them in the world. It is a replica of the Frostheart. I got this from the publisher after all my support for the series. And this is so special to me. But yeah, this is the Frostheart. So beautiful. And then we go into like the middle grade graphic novels here. And I don't really have that many anymore. So that's pretty cool. I have this A Touch of Whimsy travel mug because I hosted this readathon back in 2020 with Kaylin, Lexi and Jade, and this was the kind of merch for that readathon, and I still keep it here because it was such a great time. I also have still the map for the Touch of Whimsy readathon with all the prompts that we needed to follow, and I love it so much. So obviously I have my young adult graphic novels there, but we'll continue with the middle grades for now. So the paperbacks go down to this shelf here. And we've got Amelia Fang by Laurel and Anderson. Love that series. Rainbow Grey, where I'm a character inside that series as well, which is awesome. I've got my Sophie Anderson books. Freaking love Sophie Anderson. Jumbies was very good. I loved it. I actually still need to read the 3rd book. Got loads of Alex Bell there. Love Alex Bell. Love Jennifer Bell as well. Loved Wonderscape. Such a great book. Continuing down here, we have the... What are these called again? Louis Bonneveld series. The House with a Clock on its Walls. I've only read like 6 of them, I think, and I need to read them all at some point. A lot of the middle grade books that I have left now after my massive purge, these are the ones that I do genuinely love and want to keep. And a lot of them I have read that I just don't really want to get rid of because I love them so much. Like Orion Lost by Alistair Chisholm, so good. The Arusha series, I still need book 5. But I really enjoy Arusha by Roshni Chokshi. I think it's such a good one. This is Suzanne Collins' middle grade series I still need to read. The author of The Hunger Games. Got Cressida Cow here, yay, we got How to Train Your Dragon, which I still need to read. Even when I was called How to Train Your Gavin, and that was my channel name, is a play on How to Train Your Dragon. I still never got a chance to read them, and I wanted to so badly. Did I just see a cat come in? Oh, hello, Ash. I thought I saw you come in. Oh, you were so beautiful. Do you want some attention? I'm trying to film. I'm trying to show everyone my book collection. I don't think you appreciate it all. I put the heat on as well, so this is probably a lovely spot for you, Ash. Okay, bye. Sorry, continuing on. Got some Abby Elphinston. Got Inkheart. Vashti Hardy, whom I love. Michelle Harrison, Behind My Little Squirrel. Are you leaving, Ash? Are you going? Are you closing the door? You closing the door? Are you going to lock us in? Are you going to lock us in? Oh, you were so cute. Oh, I just love you. Oh, he's literally just headbutting my hand. Look, I'm trying to work, Ash. Anyway, Pinch of Magic there. Love, and the series continues over here. Love that series so much. Evelyn Jones, more Diana Wynne Jones. The Jennifer Killick books. Got some Strange Worlds travel agency there, as well as my art copies of them. All of them personally signed, so I'm keeping them forever and ever. Okay, bye Ash, bye bye. Okay, hello Ash, welcome back. I really, out of all the middle grades I have, really want to read The Legend of Pokemon One Ear, that series. It's so hard to get a book out though, because like I can't even get my fingers in it. I can't get my fingers in it. It's not the best, is it, Ash? It's not the best. But that's fine, because they all look good still. Oh, the Adventures on Train series. Love, 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 love Where the Mountain Meets the Moon by Grace Lynn. Great series. Got my Frost Heart collection. Ash, can you leave me alone, please? Please, I'm begging. I'm actually begging. Oh, did you say that? He just shook his head. Yeah, sorry. Love Grace Lynn. Got my Frost Heart books here. This is the art copy that I got. Treasured possession of mine. And then I've got 2 copies of Frost Heart because one of them is personally signed, but it doesn't have the sprayed edges. And then I've got the whole series there, which were the Waterstones special editions. I used to have like 8 copies each of all of the books with the Waterstones sprayed edges. And I did unhaul some. I unhauled some to a children's hospital last year, so hopefully their libraries are fully stocked with Jamie Littler. New series, I'm going to be reading Oxfire soon, cannot wait. Got Elle McNichol, I love Elle McNichol so much. I got 3 copies of Kind of Spark, but this one's the proof copy, so that should probably go here. And then some more. Green Glass House love. Going down here, continues on. The Worst Witch, I love so much. I grew up on The Worst Witch. Some more just random middle grade series. I've got my Percy Jackson paperbacks there, which I read all of at the end of 2023. Heroes of Olympus. Got some Victoria Schwab. Oh, my Edge Chronicles series. I love the Edge Chronicles so much. These were the original covers, which I had back in the 90s. And then all of them got re-released. And I haven't completed the series or anything yet, and I really need to go back to this series and read them all because I love it so much. So much. It's like one of my formative reading experiences as a kid. It was up there with Goosebumps. Oh, Lockwood and Co., the Malamander, Eerie on Sea series, Christmas Carols, the Dragon Legend or Dragon Mountain books even. And I loved Front Desk by Kelly Yang so much. Such a good one. And yeah, pretty much that's the middle grades. Have a Believeathon 3 travel mug, which I hosted back in 2021. No, 2020. 2020, I thought that was the best logo I ever did. Was a middle grade readathon I used to host. Actually, I do still have the compendiums that I made for the readathon, which were a lot of fun to make. I did one for Believeathon 3, which was also another fun one that I made. And then Believeathon 4 was another fun one I made with all the cards that you could cut out if you wanted to. Oh, and there's the cards there. But yeah, this was a fun one. I thought it would be nice to have a bit of a compendium for a middle grade readathon because it's just so much more fun, you know? Oh, and I also have my Wizard of Oz books here, and I have the legs sticking out from under it as if the book box crushed the Wicked Witch of the East. So that lives on the floor down there. R.I.P. Nessa Rose. So next I have the very small young adult and adult graphic novels in the middle of all of my middle grade. But I have like a Alice Oseman Heartstopper shelf here, and I love the shelf so much. I got this standee when I worked at Waterstones, and I got it sent to me from the publisher that I could keep and take home because I did an interview with Alice Oseman nearly 4 years ago on my channel, so I managed to get that. Behind it, I do have this. I mean, it's just these. There's like little character cards that I just put behind. It's got the characters from the graphic novels in there. And I got those as well. And I also got this bag when I went to Yalk a couple of years ago that I've kept, because it's an amazing little Heartstopper paper bag. So I just keep that behind there. Then I have Nick and Charlie just behind there so that I can see who they are. And then yeah, I do have my special editions of the Heartstopper volumes just here, you know, just the ones that got normally released. Got the Heartstopper yearbook there as well, got the regular editions of the Heartstopper volumes also. I got my Alice Oseman books there, which have been re-released with new covers, so I might end up getting those at some point. Got a little Paris little thing there that I got from Paris. And then finally, yeah, the shelf is just random young adult and adult graphic novels. So I've got Saga, got some Marvel comics there too, got the Tea-Dragon Society series, which I love, it's so cute. Monster in the Woods, I think, is a self-published one that I got from Comic-Con. The author, Amy Willis, was, I think, with her dad, and they were at a stall, and it just looks so cute, so I ended up getting it. I've got an Avatar graphic novel as well, the Hocus Pocus illustrated novelization. So amazing. The entire Walking Dead series, all 4 compendiums, which I have read all of them. It did make me cry in the end. It was so good. I've got some like random ones here. I've got some Buffy graphic novels. Yeah, like some of the really old ones. Got one of the new Buffy graphic novels. Well, new-ish. Got Charmed. Oh, wait, what's it? Oh, got Ghost Whisperer. Got a Ghost Whisperer graphic novel. I've got Charmed, all of season 9, which are very hard to get hold of now. So I'm glad I have them. And then I have season 10, volume 3. And I don't have volume 1 or 2 because they are impossible to get hold of now. So I don't think I'll ever get those. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins. And yeah, just like some random stuff here as well. Got Check Please, which I still haven't read yet actually. Got both volumes. North Ranger is apparently a Northanger Abbey Jane Austen gay teen graphic novel retelling. So I'm desperate to read it. Magical Boy is trans graphic novel. So that's going to be awesome. Got Chef's Kiss there. Oh, I Hate Fairyland. I really want to read. My friend Allie from With Allie loves it. Fence. Yeah, I don't really have too much to say about graphic novels because I don't really read a whole lot of them. But when I do, it's usually just Heartstopper. So yeah, that's that entire section over and done with. So next I will do the classics because that is pretty much only one shelf here, and that'll be a lot easier to get through before I get through the main chunk of the room, which is the young adult and adult shelves. So let's get up here on the footstool. So up at the very top here I have my Song of Ice and Fire special editions, which were quite expensive, but they are some of my most prized possessions as well, just because of how beautiful they are. Love having them in their slip boxes, so nice. Got Fire and Blood up there and some Game of Thrones inspired candles, a Raven, my Lord of the Rings series, kind of. That kind of goes down. I feel like these were events in the Lord of the Rings world, like in Middle Earth, that happened before The Hobbit. So I have it in this order, going down. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I love having these here. I love these editions of my Lord of the Rings books so much. These are illustrated, love them. The books on the top do go along, but I'll go through those when I go through the young adult and adult shelves. But Lord of the Rings, oh my god, favourite books of 2024 because I did a reread of them. Love them so much. Up here I have 2 copies of my dissertation that I wrote when I was at uni. I always point these out because I'm so proud of it. Anne Radcliffe's Feminist Heroes, Cultivating Sensibility and Overcoming Patriarchal Oppression in the Mysteries of Udolpho and the Italian. And it was 10,987 words. Got some really nice editions of some classics here. A lot of them are Barnes & Noble editions, Canterbury Classics, things like that. So I do have like the Nutcracker, Winnie the Pooh, Sherlock Holmes, Snow Queen, Jane Austen, Beauty and the Beast, Narnia. I do love the look of this book so much. I don't like the Chronicles of Narnia. I read them a couple of years ago for the first time and really hated the series. I only really like The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, but I love this book so much just because of how beautiful it is. As superficial as that makes me sound, just absolutely stunning. Les Mis, very scared to read this one, but I do want to read it at some point. Poe, Phantom of the Opera, got some Bronte sisters selected works there. Even though it doesn't have all of them, I love the cover of this. I just think it's so beautiful. Classic Tales of Horror, Great Gatsby, which I still haven't read yet, some Grimm's Fairy Tales, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, Christmas Gothic Short Stories. And then I have like the Seasons editions here, which I don't have very many of, but I do love how these have such a big font size, because a lot of classics do have small fonts, which is not great for my eyes, but these editions have great font sizes. So I have Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Jane Eyre, Adventure of Sherlock Holmes, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Anne of Green Gables, and Shakespeare in Autumn. I would love to try and get more of these, but it's not really a priority. Boy More Fox and the Horse there, just randomly. And then I've got some classic fantasy, I guess. Here I've got like Dune and Dune Messiah. These are the Waterstones editions, so they are very pretty. And I haven't yet read Dune. I've never even seen the films yet either, so excited for that. Name of the Wind, Snow Queen, Nutcracker, some Perrault, Complete Fairy Tales, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. King in Yellow and Carmilla are like gothic classics. So yeah, those are just randomly there too. Got some Ursula K. Le Guin and East of the Sun, West of the Moon. And a little goblet I got when I was in Whitby doing a Dracula vlog. Or did I get that when I was in Chillingham Castle? I can't remember. I personally love the shelf so much because it's all of my puff and cloth bound editions. And I just absolutely love them. I love them so much. We've got Watership down there. Little Women, which I have facing out. Just love the look of them, the feel of them. And I just love all of them together on the spines. Just so beautiful. Like, look at the cover of Watership Down. It's massive, but it's beautiful, you know? I think the first one I ever got was The Wizard of Oz. And come on, like, that cover is gorgeous. I think that was the first one I ever got. Peter Pan, Wuthering Heights, The Secret Garden, Christmas Carol. Honestly, like, why would you not want these editions of books? They are just too beautiful. Absolutely too beautiful. Grimm's Fairy Tales, The Jungle Book, Tales from Shakespeare, Hans Christian Andersen's Fairy Tales, Chinese Cinderella, The Worst Witch, which I think is the most recent puff and cloth bound edition, The Railway Children, The Little Prince, Black Beauty, Frankenstein, Treasure Island, Dracula. Oh, God, I love this cover so much. And finally, Charlotte's Web. Oh, just the most beautifulest editions of anything ever, in my opinion. And I just love the way they feel as well. It's just got a really nice texture, but yeah. Anyway, moving on from the shelf. Down here, we have a couple of books I got at uni from my professor for attendance. For good attendance, it's 5 Elizabethan tragedies and then 5 pre-Shakespeare comedies. Never read them, probably never will. And then I've got my Penguin editions. What are these called again? Penguin English Library editions, I think. Love The Monk, by the way. Great Gothic classic. But yeah, I do have a selection of ones here. Not really clamouring to collect more or anything. I want to try and focus on reading a lot of these before I do that. But I have read some of them. Like, I read The Beetle recently when I went to Egypt, since this is a Gothic classic about a ancient Egyptian monster, essentially. Melmoth the Wanderer I've read. I want to read Moby Dick. I haven't read Moby Dick yet, but it's just so massive. Could end up being in an Emboss or Toss video. Such great stories here. I love all the Jane Austen books too. I've read all of those. Yeah, I just freaking love classics. I just don't read enough of them. Got this lovely dragon, sleeping dragon tomb thing from Comic-Con one year. Love it. Down here I have my Oxford World Classics. I read Pinocchio a few years back. Love North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Love that one. I also, again, love The Monk. Such a good one. Oh, but The Italian by Anne Radcliffe, my favourite Gothic classic of all time. I will not stop ranting and raving about it because I love it so much. That one, The Mysteries of Udolpho, was her more popular one, the one that everyone knows her for. But she needs more credit. She needs more love. This was my original copy from when I went to uni. But yeah, this has some like highlights in and things like that. I don't really annotate or anything. I mainly just highlight and then I type it up on my computer. It's kind of the way I've always done it. But I do love that. But then I just have random books on the end here as well. Just like different editions that I don't really have that much of. So we have like Fantasy Masterworks there. We have whatever these are called, the vintage ones, got VMC, just like really random ones. Really random ones. And then I have another copy of The Italian, which I actually bought in Paris. I bought this when I was in Paris. And everyone again needs to read it, please and thank you. And then randomly Kane's Jawbone and Myrtle. And then on the final shelf, I have all of my Agatha Christie books, which I'm making my way through very well. I've solved 7 of them that I've read, and I failed to solve 5 of them. So I've read 12, well actually 13. I did read Murder on the Orient Express as well, so that's 13. But I had watched the movie and I knew the outcome, so I couldn't count that towards like solving it or anything. But no, I do love a good Agatha Christie book. I love Murder of Roger Ackroyd. That is a great book. I love that one. I do love, and then there were none too. That one's awesome. Just read Death Comes as the End last week. Wasn't the biggest fan, honestly. I have like my Poirot books starting there. And then I have my Miss Marple books, which I don't have very much of because I don't like Miss Marple. And I don't like the Miss Marple books. They're not my favourite. I much prefer Poirot. But yeah, that was my classics shelf. And little bits here and there as well. So now, the young adult and the adult shelves, I have random series on the top like some of my favorite series, some iconic series on the top, and then it goes into like the hardbacks. It's adult and YA mixed together, and it goes by author surname in alphabetical order, but also height order. So it's a little bit of a, you know, extra step, but again, just to keep things looking uniform. So it goes like all the way across here. I much prefer to have shelves that go all the way along rather than like along, and then along. I much prefer to have a nice flow. That might be because I worked at Waterstones for 4 years. But yeah, starting off with some Sarah J Maas books. Love these editions so much. I hate House of Flame and Shadow. Didn't really like House of Sky and Breath either. I only really like House of Earth and Blood. But love having the Fairy Loot editions of those anyway. Got the A Court of Thorns and Roses series there with the Illuma Crate jackets, and I think they are absolutely stunning. Got my Crescent City art copy up there as well, and a random crown that I wore once or twice. Got my Born Season series there, all of the new editions that have come out because Samantha Shannon has been rewriting. Got my art copy of the 10th anniversary edition of the Born Season there also. The Priory of the Orange Tree series. And then we go into the Red Rising series, the Fairy Loot re-release editions. So I don't know when the next batch come out, but I loved the first Red Rising. I thought it was so good. So I need to continue that. Also the Greenborn Saga. These are the Illuma Crate editions, which I was in the middle of working when the sale for this happened. And I had to like stop. When I was at Waterstones, I had to go behind a bookshelf and order them while I was in the middle of working. Like, that was so naughty of me. I don't work there anymore. I left to do YouTube full time a couple of years ago, so I won't get in trouble for that anymore. Got the Nevernight series, and then the Empire of the Vampire series there. Got the Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Got the Lunar Chronicles there. I love the way that looks so much. Got the Hunger Games series, and I bought this collection just before the new book got announced. And I really hope that they release the new book with this kind of style. Otherwise, what was the point? What was the bloody point? But I can't wait to reread these in a couple of months' time when the new book comes out. It's been a few years and I just absolutely adore the series so much. Then I've got the Gilded Wolves series there. I have this skeleton that I put up for Halloween and I don't really want to put it away just yet. But also I have to have some space on the top here for the new Born Season book that's coming out soon, and for other things. So it's going to have a bit of a gap so that I can move things along when the new books come in. And so I can move the Skeleton Man then and he can come back out next Halloween. The John Empire series. Oh, the Scythe series, the Arc of the Scythe series. Love so much. I think Illuma Creative just announced a new edition. I might have to get it because they look absolutely stunning. These were my favorite editions, but they don't have Gleanings. There's no like Gleanings short story collection, I think it is, from Fairy Loot, so I feel like I have to go for the Illuma Crate ones. Got the entire Vampire Academy series from Fairy Loot too. Very excited to start this. I've never read the series before, and I want to do a complete series reading vlog for it this year. And now I have all of the Fairy Loot books, I'm definitely going to do that. And then finally on the top here, I've got my Disney Twisted Tales collection, which I still need to read more of, and I haven't read one in quite a few years actually. It'd be nice to get back into that world. So starting from the A to Z hardbacks, young adult and adult bookshelves. Oh, I need to unhaul The Familiar. One of my worst books of the year. I found it so bloody boring. So boring. A lot of these are special editions as well. Like if you pull them out, they have sprayed edges. A lot of them from Waterstones as well. Waterstones do very good sprayed edges. And a lot of Fairy Loot books as well. And an Illuma Crate. Broken Binding too. So I've got some Broken Binding books there. And I'm going to be reading the Bone Ships this month. Very excited for that. So a lot of good series. Got the Fairy Loot Inheritance game series, which I want to do a complete series reading vlog for. I really love the covers and look of that. Just some other random things. I read The Tainted Cup this year. I want to do a reread when the new one comes out. It was very good. I got all of Olivia Blake's books so far, I think. I think these are all of Olivia Blake's, and I still haven't read any of them yet. Like, how bad is that? But I keep getting FOMO because Waterstones announces a special edition, and then I'm like, oh, well, if it sells out, then I'll never get it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should start with the Atlas 6, but I haven't heard, like, the best things about the series in general, but I need to read it. It might come up on an Emboss or Toss at some point. I can't wait to read also the Crowns of Nyaxia series, I think it is. Got this one not too long ago from Fairy Loot also, and my neck is absolutely bloody killing. The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, I think it's the sequel. Can't wait to read The Art of Prophecy. I was supposed to read this in 2024 and I didn't get a chance to get to it, but I will read it this year, I promise. Loved Ready Player One. Didn't really like Ready Player Two, but I need a reread of it before I decide on tossing it. Anything else of note on here? Oh, I really enjoyed the Spell Shop. This is a very tight shelf. Oh my god, I can't really get it out. But I really enjoyed the Spell Shop this year. Or last year even. Gosh, Gavin, get with it. It's 2025 now. Got some Sarah Elarifi books. I really like her books too. Leech was pretty good, but pretty weird. Emily Wilde's books. I liked the first one. I didn't love it, but I was interested enough to get the sequel. And these are the Fairy Loot editions. Yeah, I'm just going to pull these out. Got the Fairy Loot editions for these, so that's pretty awesome. Got a lot of Chloe Gong books, a lot of Chloe Gong. This is a pretty new one to my collection as well, the Woodsmoke Women's Book of Spells by Rachel Greenlaw. I love the look of this. I think it looks so awesome. Put my neck, oh my god. I had way more energy 2 years ago when I did my last bookshelf tour. What happened to me in the past 2 years? I do not know. Anything else up here? Oh, I got some more Broken Binding books. I mean, I've got a random Masquerade mask here too, but yeah, some more Broken Binding books. Very excited to read as well. Northern Wrath, lovely. And then back to over here. Oh, What the River Knows. I read this in Egypt when I did my Trova trip a couple of months ago, and I got all of my travelers to sign it. So they all left me lovely messages because this was our group book. So we all pretty much read it. And now it's like a really special book for me. Even though I didn't fully love the book itself, I gave it like 3 stars, I think. It's the memory of reading it with my new friends in Egypt and getting them all to sign it. Oh, it just means the world to me. The Will of the Many was my favourite new read of 2024. My favourite books were The Lord of the Rings, but they were a reread. But my favourite first time read book of 2024 was The Will of the Many, and I love this copy so much. I love the cover of it so much. I hope this style stays. I think there might be some kind of thing about the covers being different from now on, but I really hope not. I love this. Oh, I read Fate Inked in Blood not too long ago, really enjoyed. God Killer I liked. Got some TJ Klune books. Really liked Yellowface. I love these Fairy Loot editions of Daughter of the Pirate King and Daughter of the Siren Queen. Love those editions so much. If you were to tell me some of my priority reads for 2025, I do want to make it 25 books of 2025 that I want to like prioritize. The Three Body Problem by Sixten Liu is definitely up there, and I love the Broken Binding edition so much. I feel like Broken Binding has become my favorite subscription service in 2024, and I'm carrying that into 2025 because I also read the first Eyes of Lochlamora book a couple of years ago now, and I loved it so much. And I like my Broken Binding editions, even though it's only the normal covers. I cannot wait to continue on with the series. But yeah, Broken Binding is literally my favorite at the minute. I love it so much. Is this a sequel, Throne of Secrets? I feel like it is, and I don't have the first book, and this is the Waterstones exclusive edition, I believe, and I don't have the first book. Carrie Maniscalco. I thought I did own the first book. What happened to it? I didn't accidentally unhaul it, did I? More Broken Binding book trilogies that I'm very excited to read. Circe and The Song of Achilles. I love these editions, and I love both of the books too. I mean, I prefer The Song of Achilles. I think The Song of Achilles is the better one, but I still think they are very well written and great stories. Very excited to read Cloud Atlas. I love my edition of it so much. It is the, again, I think Waterstones edition or something like that. A few of my booktube friends absolutely love it. So, oh, Naomi Novik. Still haven't read any of these, and I have all 3. Very nice, very nice. Currently reading Forged by Blood. I'm 242 pages in, and I'm really liking it so far. Thursday Murder Club series by Richard Osman. I need to read ASAP. I was going to read all of these when I was moving house earlier. Well, I keep saying earlier this year. It's not. It was last year. Come on, Gavin. I was going to do like a Thursday moving club kind of thing, but it ended up falling through, unfortunately. When the Moon Hatched, I didn't love, but I don't want to get rid of this. It is the lovely Fairy edition. But I didn't love it. It was kind of underwhelming. I did like Out There Screaming. There were some stories in that I loved. The whole collection itself, maybe not the best, but there are a couple of stories in this that I really, really enjoy. Moving along. This is the only Riley Sager book that I have. I'm still going to give it a chance because I own it, but I have not really enjoyed anything by this man, and I hated Middle of the Night. Middle of the Night was my worst book of 2024. Brandon Sanderson, we gotta love him. I love the first Skyward. Wasn't the biggest fan of Starsight, but I still need to continue on the series. I think there might be one more after this, maybe, that I need to get, but I really enjoyed this. I thought it was so good. So good. So I might have to give it a reread if I want to continue on, because it's been a few years. I also backed the Kickstarter for the Brandon Sanderson Secret Projects, so I absolutely do love the covers of these so much. And I will be going through all of Brandon Sanderson in 2025, hopefully. I want to do a Gavin Reads All the Cosmere series on my channel, like I do Gavin Reads All the King. And these are going to be some of them that I read for that series. So I will go through it in order, starting with Mistborn. I believe that is the start of the Cosmere. And then going back down here, got some V.E. Schwab. This was the Forbidden Planet edition, and I love it. I think it's such a beautiful edition. Been a while since I read some V.E. Schwab, actually. I wonder if I still enjoy her books or not. I enjoyed Britney Spears. This is the only memoir. Actually, no, I do have another one. But this is one of the only like big celebrity memoirs that I own. Oh, this is lovely. It doesn't come out until February 2025. Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. This is an art copy, and I don't want to open it. It's too pretty. It is way too pretty, and I'm scared to open it. Because I don't want to take the ribbon off. I don't want to take it off, so it just like lives here. It lives here now with like a little bit of ribbon sticking out. Benjamin Stevenson, I love that man. Writes some great books. I loved Every One of My Family's Killed Someone. And this one was a really great book as well. Loved it. Oh, I've got the Fortuna Sworn series by KJ Sutton. These are the Fairy Loot editions. I love these too. Want to do a complete series reading vlog for them because I enjoyed the first book. Going along here, I love Can't Spell Trees Without Tea and A Parasite for Tea. Haven't read them, but I love them. Anything else? I tried that one, wasn't the biggest fan, but I think it might be wrong time, wrong place, because I still want to read the series. It came in broken binding. Love the Andie Weir books. Oh my gosh, I loved The Martian. This was so good. So good. So I was very glad Broken Binding did editions of these. I really enjoyed Project Hail Mary as well. I thought it was great. So, again, another good one. But I have yet to read Artemis. Gotta read Artemis. Ghost Girl Banana, I just recently DNF'd. I don't think this will be staying in my collection for long. So, your days are numbered. Oh, I love the look of this series too. The Dragon Bone Chair. Look how massive it is. It's so big, it's so heavy. And the entire series too is just massive and big. And I love the covers. Oh, I'm getting into my adult fantasy. Like, it has to happen this year. It has to happen. So, you just watch. Oh, I'm going to be reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame this month because the new book comes out. I've never read these before. These are the Fairy Loot editions. Or was it Waterstones editions, actually? I can't remember. I think Fairy Loot. So I'll have to get Onyx Storm when it comes out, read these for the first time in a couple of weeks. Ghost Eaters, I wasn't the biggest fan of, but I did pick this up in Paris when I went to Shakespeare and Company. And so it's stamped, and so I can never ever get rid of this because I bought it in Paris. I also bought the Paris Library in Paris too. Oh, Dungeon Crawler Call. I read this recently and I loved it. I need to get the rest of the series. So good. It's a lit RPG. Feels like a video game and it's just so fun. Got Neon Ghost by Daniel B. Green, the YouTuber extraordinaire. One of my favourite YouTubers ever. But I backed this on Kickstarter and I have the VIP Ghost that Daniel Green drew. I love it. And signed too. So it's super cool. Like one of my favourite editions of a book. And I love the cover and I love the sprayed edges. So yeah, that's awesome. Off Season by Jack Ketchum. One of the most fucked up books I've ever read. It's extreme horror, by the way. And it's so messed up. So messed up. But I enjoyed it, weirdly enough. I really enjoyed The Haar recently as well by David Sodergren. Got the hardback edition of it. I would like to read more from this author because it was so weird and so wonderful. I got 3 copies of Midnight Neverwood because this was the exclusive art copy that came out. And my name is in this one. Yeah, there I am. Gavin, Waterstones Gates, that's where I used to work. The show-stopping performance of a book. So that's why I keep that one. And then the final copy of it, which I love. Anything else here? I wasn't the biggest fan of Legends and Lattes. I thought it was okay, but I actually really enjoyed Bookshops and Bone Dust. I thought this was actually really good. I found it better than Legends and Lattes. Oh, I love the list of suspicious things. This made my top books of the year, so do check it out. Going back down here now. I feel like I've put in so many steps today just walking around my library rooms. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. Was a book I read before I joined BookTube, and I don't know if it still holds up, but I loved it when I read it. It was great. Also really enjoyed my Evernight edition of The Eyes Are the Best Part. That's super cool. Anything else of note? Loved Clown in a Cornfield. I still need to read Clown in a Cornfield too, but the third book's out and I want to try and get to the Clown Motel in Nevada, I think, and read them there. But I feel like that's a pipe dream because it's so expensive. And I don't drive, so it's kind of impossible to get to unless you drive. So yeah, that might be a pipe dream, but that's kind of the plan that I had. And I don't want to read book 2 just yet, just because of that plan, because I still hold out hope. House in the Cerulean Sea, I also loved All Boys on Blue by George M. Johnson, and also We Are Not Broken. These are the only other 2 memoirs that I own. So George M. Johnson and Britney Spears are very special. Middle Game, really enjoyed. Oh, Someone You Can Build a Nest In is so good too. Really happy about having that in my collection. Gwen and I Are Not in Love by Lex Croucher. I was a judge for the YA Book Prize in 2024 alongside Alice Oseman and the creator of Fairy Loot, as well as a writer for the bookseller and the Edinburgh Book Festival chairperson. We voted for Gwen and I Are Not in Love to win. And this was the beautiful Fairy Loot edition that came out recently. Very excited to have it. Oh, I love these T. Kingfisher editions as well. Love them so much. I was reading The House with Good Bones earlier this year. Love me some T. Kingfisher. I haven't read this yet, but I had the Abominable Book Box. I now don't subscribe to the Abominable Book Box, but this was one of them that came in it, and I'm actually very excited to read it. I love the cover. I love a good older horror, and it came like this. I love it when it's thrifted. It's actually kind of unique, so I love that. Got my Illumicrate Bridgerton set. I always get asked what these books are in videos. Like sometimes people haven't seen these books before, so I usually get, oh, what are those colourful people in the window books behind you? And it's always the Bridgerton set from Illumicrate. I believe they are sold out, but always keep an eye out for them. I think they reprinted them not too long ago. If We Are Villains, I really enjoyed, and I love this Waterstones edition. And then we also have the Stormlight Archive. These are all of the Fairy Loot editions as well, with this random chest here with nothing in it. Just for decoration. But again, I am very excited to read some Brandon Sanderson in 2025 and get through the Cosmere. So love how all of these look, but it's very intimidating considering how massive they are that they've been split into 2 parts each. Moving along, we've got some V.E. Schwab. I really enjoyed the A Darker Shade of Magic series, but it's been a long time, so I might have to give them a reread. And then, Frederick Backman. Every morning the way home gets longer and longer made me cry. It was very sad, but loved it. And then we get into the paperbacks. So this is the end of the hardbacks. Galatea by Madeline Miller. I still haven't actually read. It's tiny, and I should give it a read since it's so small. But I have this Spells and Potions thing here to separate, and I got this from Comic-Con. And then, yeah, we get into the paperback. So Ace of Spades, loved by Farida Biki Mayday. I did kind of like Why Sleeping Girls Lie as well, but it wasn't my favourite. So those are those. Going down here to the second bottom shelf. Oh my gosh. Bunny by Mona Reward. Really enjoy. I need to read more Tessa Bailey because I enjoyed It Happened One Summer. What else? The Exorcist and Psycho. I love that these 2 are together considering I read these in the same video, reading books that inspired classic horror movies. And you know what? Psycho wasn't actually too bad. The Exorcist was a little boring. I'm not going to lie. Very excited to read this one. I bought it when I was in Australia. Kindred, one of my favourite books of 2024. Loved it. Also bought this when I was in Australia. I would definitely recommend checking out my Australia vlog because I go on this coffee shop and bookshop tour that my friend set up. So it's very fun. Oh, I really enjoyed Piranesi as well. I read that earlier this year. I read it last year, Gavin. I read it in 2024. It's now 2025. Get over yourself. Charm Offensive was one of my favourite books of 2024. Also, more Hunger Games books. This was sent to me by my friend, Allie, and she got Suzanne Collins to personally sign it and send it my way. So this is, again, another prized possession of mine. Thank you so much, Allie, for getting me this. Finney Donovan is killing it. Loved it. Didn't love the series, so I ended up unhauling the rest of it. Love Jurassic Park. I thought it was awesome. That was one of my favourite books of 2022. Need to read Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. The Troop is pretty good. I really want to read Plain Bad Heroines this year. This might be on my 2025 priority list. I've got some Ice Planet Barbarians books, which I actually found the first book to be quite fun. But the second one was just a repeat, really. And I haven't read the third one yet. But I love these covers. Love them. Got quite a lot of Twin Crowns books there for the entire series, but I also have the ARC copy. Oh no, that's not the ARC. This is the Fairy Loot copy. I also have the ARC copy here that I got. And yeah, I got these personally signed from the authors. Love the series. Reformatory, one of my favourite books of 2024. The Perfect Poo by MJ Edwards, one of my favourite books of all time. It's about a woman who falls in love with her poop. What else here? Oh, I loved Boys in the Valley. Great book last year. All Hallows is on my 24 books of 2024 list that I need to get to, that I haven't got to yet. Love the Princess Bride movie, so I really want to read this one. Come Closer by Sarah Gran, one of my favourite underrated horror books. Malice by John Gwynne, I read, but I need to reread this month for the Catch-Up Book Club. Very excited to do that though, because I really want to get into John Gwynne. So I'm going to prioritise that this year. What else? I like The Love Hypothesis when I read it, but I still need to read Love on the Brain. One of the only Grady Hendrix books that I end up liking, My Best Friend's Exorcism. The rest of them I haven't enjoyed as much, and they've gotten progressively worse. Another James Herbert book that I got from the Abominable Book Box. Sounds interesting. My only Robin Hobb book, but I would love... Oh my god, these are so hard to get out now. I would love to read more. I read this a couple of years ago, but I need to reread and then continue on. I haven't read these Colleen Hoover books yet, but I would like to try and get to them. Murder of the Family I'm reading this month. Got the Holly Jackson books. Really enjoyed Monday's Not Coming. I keep trying to unhold My Heart is a Chainsaw, but then I keep putting it back because I'm so intrigued, and I did Soft Day and Effort years ago, but I really want to read it, but I don't want to give up on it, you know? It's still there. First Wheel of Time book, which I enjoy. Before the Coffee Gets Cold, that was the last book I read in 2024 I really enjoyed. Oh, we're getting into Stephen King. So we have the Bachman books there, which I've read, and I only really enjoyed one story out of. But yeah, we have all of the other Stephen King books here. These are the newer editions. I love how they look. Don't love how Cycle of the Werewolf is this big, and it just like sticks out like a sore thumb, but it is in alphabetical order in the Stephen King section, so it kind of has to go there. But I've read Carrie, I've read Christine, I've read Cujo, I've read The Dead Zone. Love The Dead Zone so much. I've read Firestarter, I've read Misery, I've read Pet Sematary, I've read Salem Star, I've read The Shining, I've read The Stand. Then I've got Thinner there, which I really want to get to. And I want to get through all of them because I'm doing a series where I read through all of Stephen King's books in chronological order. So I've just done episode 3. I'll be filming episode 4 soon. But that also continues on down here. So I have the Tommyknockers there. And then I have my other editions of Stephen King, which I want to slowly replace for those newer editions. But I have already read Dolores Claiborne, Gerald's Game, and I think that's it. That's all the Stephen King up to there. Love The Raven and the Reindeer by T. Kingfisher. Thought that was great. Really enjoyed The Disaster Tourist as well. I also really liked Delicate Dream Department Store. I love a good cozy book. Oh, I'll Be Gone in the Dark is the only true crime that I have. And I read it earlier this year. I read it earlier last year. And it was very good, but I don't think I'm a big fan of true crime books. I don't think they're really for me. Got my old copy of Red, White and Royal Blue. I still haven't seen the film. How bad is that? Still need to see it. Love Confessions so much. What a great book. Bought this in Australia. Really want to read it. Got quite a few books down here. Obviously, I've got my Kiss and Booth books, of course. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Loved this years ago when I first read it. Got The Final Empire there, but I still need to get more of the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. More Schwab. The Archived was the very first book that I ever read based on a BookTuber recommendation, and that was recommended by Jessie the Reader, and that was my introduction into BookTube, so I will always keep these books forever and ever because they have some sentimental meaning to me. Yay, I love this. I want to try and get a hardback copy to match my second book. Loved the Raven Boy series, or the Raven Cycle I should say. Read that for the first time a few months back, and I really loved them. Well, I didn't love the last book, but I think the first 3 books were great. Got more Fortuna Sworn series. Those were my original copies. Battle Royale was so good. One of my favourite books of 2024 again. Such a good one. And we're really just getting to the end of the whole collection here. I don't think there's too much to say about these ones. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the end of all of the books that I own. Well, I think I deserve a glass of red. That was my home library tour. Both rooms. I hope you liked it. There was a lot of books, there was a lot to cover, but if there was anything that I didn't cover in this video that you'd love to know more about, if you think this video deserves a... Oh crap, I just realised I have actually forgotten something. I'm going to have to Yeah, with edited magic, I'll be able to slot it in seamlessly. But yeah, I've already seen something that I've missed. But yeah, please do let me know if there was anything I could have improved on with this, because I feel like home library tours and bookshelf tours are kind of hard to do. Sometimes I think, oh, I'm talking too much about a specific book. Should I talk about all of the books? But oh my god, that would be so long. There's like 2,100 books in this collection. That would take a while. But I am open to feedback. I love watching bookshelf videos. I love watching home library tour videos. They're some of my favorite on BookTube. So hopefully I helped to add to that, and hopefully I improved on my home library tour video from 2 years ago. My tastes have definitely changed a lot since then, so it's so different. Obviously I moved house, but also just the books in my collection have changed so much too, and the kind of books that I prioritize reading as well. It's just gonna be so different every single year, I think. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you had any feedback for me, or if you think I should have talked about something a little bit more. Just talk to me down below about anything and everything. I want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon, then the link is in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.